Do a quick mic check, mic check, mic check. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm going to do a test real quick to make sure you guys can hear my voice. Mic check, mic check. Let's see, it shows that we're live. Am I live? Let's see. Mic check. Do a quick mic. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm going to do a test real quick to make sure you guys can hear my voice. Okay. Mic check, mic check. Let me refresh this and see what happens. What's up, Miss June Bennett? How are you? Voice. Mic check, mic check. And just to let you know, this is not an actual show. We're just gonna be live chopping it up for a little bit. That's all. Okay, it shows we got 24 people here. That's pretty good. Because I didn't schedule this at all, so I'm going to do my best to try to respond to anybody that has anything to say in the comment section. So that way, hopefully, we could try to make this closer to a real-time conversation if I can. I don't know if I can do that with some type of setting or what. But what's up, Rachel? What's happening? What's happening? What's up, Addie? How are you? I'm just going to wait for a few more people to come in the building. See, a few of you have already here. If Jay upsets things, not good. Melissa Costner, what's happening? What's happening? How are you? Let me make sure I can hear myself on here. Do that with some type of setting or what. But what's up, Rachel? What's happening? What's happening? What's up, Pat? Hey. How are you guys doing? Let me see. Let me make sure I can still hear some music. Give me a second here. Let me close this out. Hopefully this is not too loud. Hold on. Let's see if I can hear it on this again. What's up, Kimmy Cole? How are you? All right. So yeah, you guys should be able to hear me. I was going to wait for a few more people to come in real quick. This is just a quick stream for just for the channel members, because I know a lot of people are wondering like when I'm going to go live and stuff like that. So I figured what I do is just kind of give a little transparency as far as some of the challenges I face when it comes to trying to put together these streams and stuff like that. So that's kind of my point of doing this. Hey, Rochella. What's up, Jay? What's going on? Very well, and thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Been trying to drink as much fluid as I can. I have been wearing my mask. Right? Whenever I go out. So yes, I do have my mask or whatever, you know. I'm just like, whatever it takes to get us back to normal. I'm just like, whatever, man. You feel me? I do have sanitizer. So I stay sanitized all the time. Church Lady Reed Show, what's going on? What's happening? What's happening? How are you? Let's see. Just tell us one thing. We did not do it right. Miss June Bennett? No. Everything has been fine. I've been more or less frustrated with the here's my frustration. What's up, Illicit Deeds in the building? You guys make sure and check out Illicit Deeds on Facebook and her website, illicitdeeds.com. I remembered that off the top of my head, so shout out to you. Thank you very much. LaQuisha East Esther, what's going on? Hello, DJ and the AFC family. Hey, what up? But the point of, what's up, Addie? the point of this stream is really just like I say. I know a lot of times people kind of wonder, will I be able to get to their emails and stuff like that? Am I reading them? Am I getting them? Yes, I do get the majority of people's emails. I will tell you guys this, like it definitely helps if you send the emails to the email address right here, which is the AFC matters at gmail.com. If you are sending it to the old show's email addresses, I am not using those anymore. So yeah, those email addresses I'm not using. This is the one and only email address that I use for the show. So for people that that send in stories that they want to have me take a look at, that's generally where I'm going to look first. Is I'm going to always look for the the AFC matters at gmail.com. That's where I'm going to check. Okay. What's up, Rock TNT TV? GSD Mom is in the building. I see you guys, channel members, looking good. I see y'all. What's happening? What's happening? But here's the thing. Here is what has me frustrated. It has nothing to do with anything that we've been doing. Everybody here has been perfectly fine. Okay? So just know that. My issue is I thought it was kind of weird, and I thought about this before, but a lot of times this stuff I don't really share with you guys. But I was looking up a story that somebody, let me see, you're no longer using the Soto email. Yeah, no longer using that email. There was the Soto You Dig email, and there was the Soto podcast. I'm not using either one of those. So when people ask that I get their email, I'm like, if they didn't send it to this one, I'm not getting it. So yeah. Make sure if you guys need anything from me, just send it to the email address, the AFC matters at gmail.com. But most people have been doing that, so it's been okay. But I was looking up a story earlier because I was hoping to be able to get the stream started around 9 o'clock. And as you guys can see, we're roughly about an hour and 15 minutes past that period. And I was looking up a story, and the way that I normally look up stories is I'll look them up by name of the people that are involved, by any name, or even by the subject line. And I'll go in and I'll pull up everything that comes up under that when it comes to every news website link, just everything. So sometimes I'll have, 30, 35, 40 links up at one time, trying to look through everything. I said thing. And it slows the computer down a little bit, but it's the best way that I like to try to, get through as many articles as I can, because sometimes there's a lot of stuff that's really brief that doesn't tell you anything. But for the most part, it takes me a little bit of time to get through that, because I want to make sure if there's any information, if there's something that's been updated, where are the inconsistencies in the story and things like that. It makes it to where, whenever we present the story, we give a pretty comprehensive view of the story. So I think most people appreciate that. You know what I mean? Got 71 people here. That's actually pretty dope. So thank you guys who are here, right? And if you guys want to chime in, an easy way to be able to do that is, I don't know why we always get a thumbs down, man. Who are the haters that keep clicking the thumbs down? God, that bothers me so much. Like, if y'all hate me that much, why do you continue to come back? Like, you know what? I'm going to be dedicated to coming back and thumbs down in your videos every time. And they just won't unsubscribe. Shoot. The best way to get rid of a person is just to ignore them. Don't keep putting their name in the algorithm. Don't subscribe to them. Oh, golly, it's always somebody. Now I got 3 thumbs down. But it's funny, though. Like, I don't really too much mind that, because I know there's going to, like, you know what? It could be something so positive and people still click the thumbs down. So I get it. It's part of the game. It goes with the territory. I'm not shocked, but it's just kind of like, I guess I'm always kind of like, just the mentality of people sometimes is just... It's just a bit odd to me. Like, I get it. Like, if I'm in the middle of talking, like I'll tell you guys this. Here's what I'll understand if people click the thumbs down. I would totally understand, and this is part of all of this goes with the rant, by the way. But I would totally understand if I was in the middle of talking about a story that is a story that is difficult to grasp. Maybe there's some difficult details to hear in that story. And maybe I make a joke that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I talked about somebody's looks, talked about somebody's hair, talked about some crap that somebody had on their skin, or made some type of a joke or something like that that you did not like. Like if you got throughout the course of a video and you was like, you know what? I don't like what this dude said. I don't like it at all. I would totally understand. You know what? At that moment, I'm going to click the thumbs down button. Then I'm going to unsubscribe. And then if the videos ever pop up in my channel again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say not interested, which actually does hurt my numbers. So if you want to make sure that more people don't see me, then you could actually just stop following me yourself, which is also why the channel does get, you know, some of the views that it gets, because people that don't like continue to stay here. So it's kind of one of those things, right? But nonetheless, my frustration comes in, not even with that. That's part of the stuff that I understand. You know, I've got thick skin. I've been in customer service. That type of stuff I understand. What I don't understand is people who defend criminals, and when it comes to the information that the police release or with the news stations, I know they don't release certain information for legal purposes. That I understand. Because the news station got a lot of money, they could get sued. I get it. But here's one thing I thought was really weird. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this your channel? Yes. Yes, of course this is my channel. Yes, it is. My research is on point. I haven't had to make any retractions yet. Yes, that's correct, Kimiko. I haven't had to make any retractions yet, and I'm hoping to continue. I will tell you guys this. I did get real close one time. I put up a picture of one person, actually a group picture. It was a group picture of people. So the person that I had in the picture was correct, but the person I was actually, I guess, describing in the video was slightly off because I was picking one person over the other. But I left it up because everything I said was still valid. And technically, I still had the correct picture up. I was talking about the wrong person. But nonetheless, I so far haven't had to make any retractions. I like your man grooming. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment. Let me turn this light on right there. Boom. So it kind of lights up my right side a little bit. What is your day job? You know what, Addie? That is a great question. And maybe I could tell you offline, but while I'm online, I must refrain from telling you what I do in the daytime. Because guess what? There's a lot of people out there want to find out where I work, and they want to call my job and harass my job and all of that stuff. So I tend to kind of keep that information on the low, right? I'm sure you understand. It builds up the mystique. Look at that. Hey, this is something I was not expecting. We actually got a donation, and I got a donation from somebody I was not expecting to get a donation from. You know who it is? CDT. That is my guy, Chris Thorns, and he sent in a $5 Cash App, and that's actually kind of dope. Because I don't know if you guys know or not, but Chris Thorns is dealing with, he's asymptomatic with the coronavirus. So I think he's okay from what I understand. I did get a chance to talk to him, but shout out to Chris Thorns. Bro, if you're listening, I did get your Cash App, and shout out to you, man. I thought that was dope. It was just really just, wow. Very unexpected, man. But that put a huge smile on my face. But that's the kind of guy Chris Thorns is, man. Shout out to him, man. Thank you for that, bro. But what really gets me, what really gets me, like the stuff that people say in the comment section, that doesn't bother me. When people call me names, that doesn't bother me. When people send me threatening emails, it doesn't bother me, but it does kind of make me want to raise my guard. You know, I make sure I got all of my bullets available. Yes. I make sure that I know where all of my gun magazines are, and all of my weapons are always within reach. So as far as that kind of thing, I don't too much really worry about it. I'm just that type of person. I come from a dangerous environment, dangerous hood. So that type of shit, I totally understand. It don't really bother me. It really doesn't. When you've seen, when you've stared death in the face as many times as I have, a lot of that bullshit that people be talking, all that threatening and all of that stuff, it don't really too much bother me. And I think that might be the thing that I guess kind of throws people off, like when they get into like a confrontation with me, because I don't really get that bothered by it, you know, because it's kind of, in my messed up world, it's kind of normal. So that's why I try my best to avoid conflict and shit like that, right? Always stay strapped. Shout out to my guy Dre the Dream. You know what it is, bro. Always stay strapped, man. I'm just saying, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not fucking have it. You dig? All I'm saying. That's it. What's up, Knight Rider? Good to see you. Man, you guys are making my night, man. We got 102 people here to just hear me run my mouth, and I'm thankful for everybody that's actually here. That's actually pretty dope. So I hope everybody understands this is not like a real stream, not a real story. It's just for me to talk a little bit about something where my real frustrations lie, okay? Let me give a shout out to Keyline Designs, who is in the chat. And if you guys have not checked out Keyline Designs, please make sure you guys go to Keyline Designs website, which the link is in the description box. And you can also check them out on Facebook. Make sure and place an order for some amazing face mask and all of those type of things. They do custom masks and things like that. Shout out to Keyline Designs. Here's where my frustration is, like for real, for real. You got a 6R P320. Ooh, I see you. Let me look that up. That sounds interesting. Let me see what the hell that is. I ain't gonna even lie like I know what it is. I don't. What caliber? It's 357. Okay, huh. I wonder how expensive is that gun? Let me see. I don't know if I can find. I'll have to look that up. I'm wondering how expensive. Let me know how expensive that gun is. I'm just curious about that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Here's where my frustration comes in. The stuff that we talk about in the chat, you guys know that I don't get frustrated with people speaking their mind in the chat. The majority of people with blue wrenches understand, don't block, do not time out anybody, because the chances of me seeing something that needs to be blocked or timed out, I usually see it. And if I miss it, which I do sometimes, then just catch my attention and I'll take a look at it, even while I'm in the middle of talking about a story, and I'll just block them silently. I won't even say anything. And they'll be like, they'll be trying to type in the next piece of bullshit, and they'll be like, oh crap, it didn't go through. They've been blocked. I done moved on with the story. Like, I just don't have time to sit there and argue about it. Let me give a shout out to Melly Mel back in the building. Let me see. She's been a channel member for, let me see. Does it tell me how much time? It'll tell me here in a minute. Type something in there so I can shout you out, Melly Mel, who joined the AFC Premier, which is the top channel membership. And if you need anything from me, you can take advantage of your benefits at any time. And shout out to Millie Mail. Thank you for joining the AFC. Really appreciate that. And my guy, Dre the Dream, also sent in the Cash App. Man, let me shout you out, bro. Had to update my card. You know what? Shout out to you, Millie Mail. I appreciate that. You've been a channel member for 3 months now. That's dope. Thank you for that. I was using my program, and apparently, I guess they were saying that I'm on the free version, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I pay for my stuff monthly. That's why I don't like those automatic payments, because sometimes when you have those automatic payments set up, then if something goes awry, then your shit might get cut off. So I generally don't like, I like to make all of my payments, but I tried this automatic payment thing, and they ran into an issue, but they was like, you know what? You've been a customer for a long time. We got you. So that's actually pretty cool too. That is Knight Rider in the chat who just donated. Let me give Knight Rider a shout out, and let me see if she left a message. She gave me the Arsenio Hall. That's why I love Knight Rider right there, man. That always puts a smile on my face. And thank you so much for your Awesome, awesome donation. I truly appreciate you guys finding it in your heart to be able to donate to me, man. I really appreciate that. Here's my frustration. I'll go look up a story. Somebody will send me a story. I'll click the link, pull it up. I'll look for the names that are involved, and I'll get a story, and I'm just like, damn, like this story looks crazy. And I'm trying to find information on it. So I'll Google search the title because they don't have any names in there. They don't have any pictures in these things, right? And so I'm just like, okay. So I get to looking for anything that I can find, and I'll pull up 10, 15 links that have that story up. And I'm sure Elissa Deeds can tell you this. Let her tell you in the chat. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. And you try to find the name of the suspect, the person that's involved, or the other parent. You'll try to find the kid's name, especially, I understand that the kid is alive, but if the kid is dead, then there's really no reason to protect the name, in my opinion, because that kid is no longer at risk if that kid is deceased. But I ran across a story. Let me see if I still have it up here. There was a story of a Texas mom that was accused of killing her whole family and then turning the gun on herself. So everybody involved was dead. I'm like, well, damn, well, what happened? So there's no story about this. There's no information. You could speculate all you want, but I said they won't even give a name. They didn't put a picture up. They put up a couple of ages of the people. And I'm just like, why in the hell would they do that? Like, why is that even newsworthy? When you have these stories like the Amber Alerts and things like that, when children are actually missing, when we need to actively find somebody, when we have a suspect on the loose, we have a description, things like that could be pushed further in the news. Like, everybody needs to share those type of things in the news world. But then you'll have a story that's vague as shit that I don't know, like that's all in the news really for no reason. I don't know if what I said made any sense at all. To me, it's very frustrating when you come across a story that you really want to know what happened, who was involved, and to be able to kind of give your thoughts on it, and they don't give you anything to go off of, not even a name. And what's crazy about it, and I'm going to be honest, because I know we got a lot of ladies out there, but also I'll be honest with you guys. It seems like whenever there is a woman or a mother suspect, they don't put out her name and pictures right away. There's a reason why I'm telling you guys this. The reason why that bothers me, if it's a woman or a mother and they don't put their name or picture out there, because they're saying, well, she hasn't been officially charged. Okay, fine. Well, we don't know if she's actually guilty. Okay, fine. But how is it that when you have a suspect of a man or a black man or whoever it is, or a dad, you guys have seen this happen, and his whole face and name and everything will be out there, and he'll be in there like on something like a hold. I forget what the name of that hold is. It was I forget what type of hold it was. They hadn't officially charged these men at all with anything, but they were able to hold them just based on the type of thing that they suspected this person of possibly being guilty of. But their name is out there, their age is out there, and they don't even know if these men are guilty or not. I get it that you're guilty when you're proven to be guilty in court, or if you sign a plea agreement. To me, that makes sense. But why can't we know who the person is that's being accused of something so heinous? Another reason why that's important is because if that person gets out on bail, then now they could potentially put other people at risk. It's not like they're going to send out a text message just in that city and let people know, like, hey, guys, y'all might need to watch out. There's somebody in y'all city, maybe because you don't want it to get out worldwide. But I think that's even dumber, because that puts even more people at risk, especially for those who maybe want to cover up evidence, maybe for people who want to intimidate witnesses, make people not want to come to court and testify. That gives them all the opportunity in the world to change what the facts are of a case, if that makes sense. Keyline Designs joined the channel membership, and I gotta say thank you so much for that. Keyline Designs is awesome. Really, really, truly appreciate that. And I got something I gotta put together for Keyline Designs. So yeah, man, shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining the channel membership. Really, really appreciate that. MMO girl, what is going on? What's happening? What's happening? Shout out to you. You didn't miss anything. I'm just on here running my mouth. I'm really talking about what my frustration is right now. I literally just started. They did that for man accused of rape and then found out that he was innocent, but his face was already out there. That's where my frustration is. Let me give you another example. I found a story that somebody linked me to Facebook, and I went in there and I said, you know what? They're not putting this woman's name out there. And I said, let me scroll through the comments and maybe see if there's somebody on here who knows who this person is, maybe puts their name or maybe screenshots their Facebook profile. So at least I'll have something to go off of. And you know what happened? I scrolled through the comments. It was about maybe 54 comments. I opened them up and I was just scrolling, looking. And I saw a comment that said, this mother deserves to be in jail. And I thought maybe they would have put a name or a picture. And I tried to click, you know, where on Facebook it has the little asterisk next to it. And so you can click to see what the reply was. And guess what? I clicked on everybody's reply to see what everybody wrote. That one that potentially had the mom's name in it, I clicked it and the thing just kept spinning. It just kept spinning. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a glitch. Maybe I'll open up a new tab. I'll open it up again, refresh it. I'm going to open up the comments again, find that comment, click it, see if it'll open up. Again, spinning, won't open the comment. You know what I do? I go incognito. I try to open it up a different way. You know what it does? Spins. Won't let me see the comment. But the comment is there. I'm not saying that there's some type of conspiracy going on or anything like that. I just thought it was odd how every time we're getting ready to make a breakthrough in a story and potentially put out information that's important to people, it's just so funny how conveniently those things are not available for me to view, to at least research. Give me a name to research or something. Even if I'm wrong, I can be held accountable. But so far, I have not been wrong. Are you going to do any update videos? Updates on what? I think you should do a Gannon Staunch update. Well, I think let me see. Let me take a look. Let me see here. Give me a moment. Let me copy that name, Gannon Staunch. Give me a second, Addie. I can answer your question for you. I don't mind you guys asking, so let me take a look. Actually, Addie, I did. This was less than 8 weeks ago. And usually whenever I finish a live, I will cut off the intro and the outro. So that way it's just the story. And most of my stories are normally between, I'd say maybe 25 minutes on the low side. On the high side, maybe about 45, 50 minutes. This particular video that I did on Gannon Staunch was 1 hour and 11 minutes. To me, that says that I probably gave a pretty comprehensive story. Did you watch that video? And if you did, what am I missing out? What am I missing as far as information? I mean, if you have not heard about the story, let's see. It's so hard to know what I said in there. I've got the surveillance tape on there. I've got the woman in court. Let's see. I've got the mom. Actually, I had the mom and the dad. I got their interviews. Let's see, what else? I've got the search party on there. I've got the dad with his other kid on there. I guess you'd have to tell me what am I missing, like, because this is what I guess kind of where I stand with that. If there's something that comes out in the news that is like a minor update, like maybe like, let's just say like if I did a whole story and that story was an hour and 11 minutes, and the next thing that comes up is, hey, they have a, you know, like a evidentiary hearing or something like that, like the very next court date. What I don't want to do is I don't want to give every little single step of an update for a story. The very next thing that I'll probably do if there's not a big development is I'm probably going to do the sentencing. So we've talked about the majority of what happened. And then the next thing that I'll probably do if I talk about it again is I'll end up doing the sentencing. Like, I just want to know what they were sentenced with and then give you guys my thoughts on that. They say I did watch it, but there was tons of development since. Okay. So you said I got all the information that was available at the time. So here's where we stand, Addy, because this type of thing can go on month after month after month, year after year after year. Like sometimes it could take up to 7 or 8 years for some stories to finish, and some of them they could finish literally within the same 12 months. But so what's going to happen is whenever I do my update, then everything that was missed up to that point, we'll be able to get everything going forward to that climactic point of where we get the sentencing. And we can talk about it all at that point. So that way, every little thing that comes up in between there, we'll talk about it once it comes to its conclusion. So hopefully that makes sense. Because I did get your emails. Actually, I'm looking at a couple of your emails here. So I do have my email open right now. But that's kind of where I'm at with that. So if I've done a story, I generally will not touch that story again until there is something like a sentencing. So if I've introduced you to guys to a story before the sentencing, then I'll probably do an update once the sentencing happens, and then that'll be it. Trying to stay positive and keep focusing on bettering myself. Too many people hating and bringing me down. MMO family girl is a tough young lady, man. Shout out to you, and I definitely appreciate your strength, and I definitely appreciate you being here whenever you can. Definitely appreciate that. But anyway, so that's part of where my frustration is it seems like if somebody is accused of doing something to a child, if a child is dead, in my opinion, I need a face out there. I know they'll probably try to rationalize that in some type of way. Well, we want to make sure. To me, it doesn't take that much to find out as far as, do we believe that this person is involved and we could put their face out there? Because if you want to do it like that, then in my opinion, then they wouldn't have anybody's faces out there that were accused of anything, because at that point, they're only being arrested based on what they think, not on what they know. I'd say maybe even 50% of them, because they truly don't know until they get to the end by the point of sentencing. I don't know if that made any sense. I might be just running my mouth. That's where a lot of my frustration comes in. I will sit here and spend an hour, 2 hours researching a story, and then I'll get to a point where I'm just like, I can't even do the damn story now, because everything I thought I had literally fell apart. Sometimes it falls apart because the news didn't really post anything as far as videos or really any type of pertinent information. And I don't know, it just becomes kind of frustrating sometimes when it seems like you got children dying, but yet we've got so much information about celebrities. You know, it's almost kind of like they care more about who's dying of coronavirus. So let me tell you guys this. Maybe you might find this interesting. It seems like they care more about saying this person died from corona, this person died from corona, this person died of corona, even though the majority of the people that they're counting haven't actually gotten tested. They have been classified as having a virus based on their symptoms. So that means they have not been scientifically proven to have it. Some I've been thinking about for a while. But why do I bring that up? Because we'll continue to add to that number, and we'll say that people are dying from something that we have not proven that they're dying from, but we have a kid who has been starved at home, who has been cut, who has been beat up, who has been drowned, who have been thrown out of windows, who have been ran over with cars, kids who have been left to literally starve inside of their homes, inside of a handicap chair. And the only person who had access to that kid was one person, and that kid goes missing off the radar for 2 goddamn months. And that's not national news. That doesn't matter. How that kid can slip through the system, not be found in school, not be found in healthcare, not be found in welfare checks, not be found with the father, and not be found with other family members. And we're not going to immediately say, okay, and then the mom is not going to be cooperative. We're not going to automatically put our face out there and say, yes, we believe based on the fact that it couldn't be anybody else and you're not cooperating, we're putting your face out there. You're going to be the custodial parent, but yet we're not going to hold you accountable for the whereabouts of your kid. We talk about this coronavirus to a point of nauseam. I get it. It's scary, okay? But fuck, a lot of scary shit happens. But does that mean you stop your life? You stop the world? Does that mean that you know what, we're just going to just curl up and die? You can tell me if you feel something different. But I thought as humans, and especially as Americans, I got to get on to Americans for a moment. Especially as Americans, I thought we were the most resilient. We were the strongest. We're not going to be scared of any fucking thing. We're not going to be scared of nuclear weapons. We're not going to be scared of invasions. We're not going to be scared of the earth literally falling apart from earthquakes. We're not going to be scared of meteors. We're not going to be scared of extraterrestrials coming to earth and wiping us out and zapping us with their zapping rays or whatever the fuck it is. We're not going to be scared of it. We're not going to even be as scared of Jesus coming back. Oh my goodness. Is it getting a little hot in here? Woo. Woo, shit. Woo. Oh man. I don't even think people are even afraid of Jesus coming back. But we are afraid of something that we could study, learn about, fight, and get over it. You know what they say? What's the saying? You know what? People die every day, B. I forget what is that? What is that off of Paid in Full? Niggas die every day, B. People die every day. Shit happens throughout the course of history and throughout the course of time. You've had things like the Black Plague have happened. You've got things like the Great Flood of the world that have happened. But some type of way, we've always found a way to be able to get over it, come together, rebuild. What about the damn tornadoes? You know how many tornadoes have killed people in America? How many people in California can appreciate this? How many people have died of forest fires? Where are my people at from California? How many people have died of forest fires? How many people have lost their homes from forest fires? How many people have lost their businesses, lost their cattle, lost their animals, lost their family and friends of forest fires? I personally know of people who have lost their homes, lost their businesses to tornadoes, since I live in Tornado Alley and I grew up in Tornado Alley. The tornadoes almost literally wiped out the entire community of Moore, Oklahoma. I used to live on the south side of OKC. So that's an area that I am very well familiar with. But you know what? Even the people of Moore, Oklahoma will tell you, you know what we did? We fucking rebuilt. They like, screw them tornadoes. You know what we did? Well, goddamn it, we're going to fucking rebuild. True American spirit. Whatever happened to it? Matter of fact, thank you, Miss June Bennett. Kids die and nobody cares. What about all the kids that die from just mothers trying to give birth? We've been giving birth to kids since the beginning of time, and we still have not perfected the craft of giving birth to make sure that every child is born healthy and alive. We still have mothers who are dying giving birth. The United States has a very high rate of women dying giving birth. Let me give a shout out. I'm sorry, I missed that one. Love My Kind sent in a $2 super chat and said, "One up." If you are still listening, thank you for your $2 super chat. Lala Scott said, "Preach it, Jay." Thank you very much. And I did not mean to talk about any of this, but it was on my spirit. I just get frustrated with this stuff when I see these babies who can't speak for themselves, they cannot defend themselves, but yet we continue to keep talking about shit that don't matter. Matter of fact, let's take this in a different direction. Can I piss some people off for a moment? I don't even know how I got to talking about this. I'm hyped now. I'm hyped. Let me cool myself off. ESPN. Can I get on ESPN for a moment? Love ESPN. Love all the people on there. The only person I don't like is Molly Karam. Sorry, Jalen Rose. I don't like your wife, bro. I really don't. She's a fucking annoying, okay? But guess what? So was the dude, the big old tall dude, the light-skinned dude. I cannot remember that dude's name that was on there. He played in the NBA for a while. He was a center, and he sucked. I can't remember his name. They brought him on as an analyst. He sucked, and they got his ass off. It's just part of the business. But let me say this. Are y'all ready for this? ESPN has the ear of the world for sports. They could talk about anything that has to do with sports. They have no sports that are being played right now. Zilch. Zero. Nada. 2 months. Damn near 3 months. There has not been a sport played. That means they can use their platform to talk about other things or anything. Maybe they're freaking scared to talk about all the dying children out there while these children are being murdered. Maybe you could show some news. Maybe you could share some Amber Alerts. How about that for a novel idea? Maybe we could get some criminals caught. Maybe we could get some people that are on, let's just say, the America's Most Wanted. Get those people found. Use your platform to be able to inspire people to see something and say something. It's their fucking platform. They can talk about whatever the fuck they want to. But I think it's just very dumb, and I think it's a waste of time for them to continue to keep recycling conversations. It's weird. Like every day they're just making up conversations. Like, you know what? We ain't got nothing to talk about. You know what? Let's talk about Michael fucking Jordan again. Let's talk about Michael Jordan while there's a documentary going on that is talking about Michael Jordan. And then we're going to debate about what was shown in that, and then have a debate on the things that people said about the debate that people had about the thing that everybody generally knows about. All day long. On all kinds of different talk shows for sports that have not been played. I know not everybody is not going to see. I know everybody is not going to see things my way, but it's just my frustration. That's it. There's more important shit to talk about. They have literally taken your sports away. Talk about some shit that matters now. Just for a moment. I'm sorry, but CNN, ABC, NBC, freaking all of these news stations, like if you want to hear about coronavirus, Go there. We don't have to use every single moment to talk about that during your downtime. I think we could do all of it, but what's happening is we have too much of this and not enough of that, if that makes sense. Too much about this, not enough about this. Hell, if nothing else, they could literally just, hell, play some news clips from some news stations, do something. I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. That might not even make sense to anybody. I'm just talking right now. It's just a venting session right now. That's it. Love My Kind join the AFC, and I want to say thank you, Love My Kind. I did get your donation earlier. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining the AFC. I really appreciate that. But like I say, man, we have all of these child advocates out there that, you know what, they could just have experts on. How about that? They could do their due diligence and find some experts and bring some experts on. Bring in some child advocates. Bring in some people from Child Protective Services. Tell us what their struggles are. What do they need? Do they need more resources? Do they need to hire more people? If people are looking for jobs, one job that has not gone away is what? Child Protective Services, DCF or DCS. I want y'all to think about this. They claim that they don't have enough people and their caseloads are getting high. This would be a great moment to maybe create a job fair for people to get jobs that want those type of jobs and are qualified to do those type of jobs. Since like even just little things, let's just chip away at it a little bit. Maybe somebody who's good with making home visits. Maybe somebody who's good with doing some legal, like sorting paperwork. What do they call? I don't know what they call those people. You know, not accountants, but the people who sort through things. Maybe have some people read some emails. Maybe have some people send some things to the police that they need to, or whatever the case is. Shit, you could have somebody maybe just, I don't know, maybe they ain't got enough people taking out the trash. Shit, hire some people. Have a job fair for CPS. How about that? But kids keep dying and they ain't doing shit about it. But coronavirus hits and the whole fucking world needs to stop. Interesting. Kids are getting shot in the face. Southside Chicago and some of these other places, Milwaukee, is a joke. You've got people out there, even though they tell them to stay home, there's an order to stay home, and people are still getting shot in bundles in the street. Stay at home, but motherfuckers are still getting shot in drive-bys and dying and shit. Did you get your Cash App? I'm sorry, I did not even look at it. I'm sorry, I did not realize that. Let me see. Wow, okay, hey, I did not see this. Hey. Okay. No shout out necessary. You know who you are. Thank you very much for that. But we did get in 2 more after that. People do not fear God. Fear is God itself. Wow. Thank you for your donation. That's actually pretty profound. He said, people do not fear God. Fear is God itself. That is interesting. Thank you for your Cash App. And this one said, for saving the kids from Bree Bam. Okay, I knew that was you. Thank you, Bree. I did get it. Thank you. Amy Okami, good to see your name back in the chat. Join the channel membership. Thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate your vow to the AFC. Shout out to you. You should be able to type in the chat and tell me what your thoughts are. Thank you for that. How about that? Melissa said, let's threaten a pastor for having service in the parking lot, staying in the cars, listening to the service through the radio. I didn't even get to that point, but that is so true. Matter of fact, let's talk about something else that bothers me. I'm gonna do y'all like Peter Griffin. You guys want to know what really grinds my gears? I love Family Guy. You want to know what grinds my gears? When, I don't know if y'all saw this, there was a picture of I can't remember the guy. What is his damn name? Not Giuliani. What is his name? He's the guy that's been up there with Trump most of this time. You always see him in the press. I can't remember his name. He went to, let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it like that, because I would love to tell you which one it was that I saw. Did some of y'all see that? When he showed up to that dude that was sick in the hospital, everybody had on masks except that one guy. I'm going to see if I can find his name. Is he the health secretary? I'm going to find his name because I see him all the time. Wasn't Mike Pence? Or was it Mike Pence? I don't know. Might have been Pence. I'm looking about. Was it Pence? Y'all was saying it was Pence. When he showed, did y'all see that picture of when, let me see. Pence shows up to hospital without mask. Yep. Son of a bitch. There it is. Wow. I'm going to show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. Give me a moment. I thought this was the weirdest shit I'd ever seen. Especially since this thing is supposed to be so fucking serious. Let's talk about this for a moment. Give me a moment, guys. Since the image didn't save right, so I have to convert it to a JPEG. Your boy is pretty good at this, so I can do this really quick. Put this down on the fly. Boom. Save it. Export it. Bring it to the stream. And boom. How about that? Maybe we will do some news. Does anybody see anything wrong with this picture? So some of you guys already knew what I was talking about. Vice President Pence. Please take a look at this picture. Let me make it bigger for the people who are watching so you can see this. So just for a brief moment, what I'm going to do is make this big enough for other people to see this. And I'm going to tell you something. This bothered me to my core. It bothered me to my core. And I'm going to tell you why this particular picture bothered me to my absolute fucking boiling point. You can't believe anything they say. Thank you, Miss Shirley. Here's my point. Do you want us to be fearful of corona or not? Should we stay at home or should we not? Should we close down our businesses or should we not? Should we be sanitizing our hands and washing our hands all day, all night or not? Should we be wearing our mask like you have designated or not? Should we not give a fuck because we're not sick and we don't have any symptoms? Or should we be worrying about being asymptomatic, which means you can have it, but you just don't have symptoms? If for some reason, if he has a vaccine, then why does nobody else have a vaccine? Because everybody else seems to have a mask on. The dude in the chair is somebody who is supposed to have COVID-19, right? He supposedly has it based on what they say. I can only trust what people tell me until I find out otherwise. Right? So if it's supposed, and what's up, Romanian girl? I'm just not talking about anything in particular. I'm just running my mouth right now. So shout out to you. Shout out to anybody that's listening. If you guys want to chime in, feel free to click that join and come in. There's a blue join button down there. You can join the AFC and you can pop in this conversation. Right now, this is just for our channel members. Sometimes we'll do this, okay? So for the people that are listening, don't feel bad. But the channel members do, deserve a little bit of something on their own. This bothered me because of the fact that if it's in this room and if this man has it and if it is airborne, then wouldn't you think there's a possibility you could get it? And if there's a possibility that you could get it, then what that would also have to mean is, let me see if I can find it. going to show you guys something. Matter of fact, let me be fair. Let me be fair. Let me try to find something that's a little more recent. Let's just say in the past month. This is within... No, that's not. That's actually not. Let's see here. So did somebody else just... Oh, I got a message. How about that? Okay. I could tell you guys a little bit of something about viruses and things like that, but I'm not going to go into the weeds with this one. Maybe we'll do it another day. But if it's as serious as it's supposed to be, that if he were to catch it in that hospital, is it not possible that he could be standing right next to the president and transmit it to the president, and then the president, who is standing amongst other people, let's see, in a situation, let me try to find a more recent picture. Trump addressing COVID, and let's find something here that's within the past month. Let's see here. So, okay, yeah, like this one. Let's go with that one. So he could literally pass it right to your president. Then you have a situation like this where he's standing less than 6 feet from that lady and standing just over 6 feet away from the other guy over there. I can't remember his name. That's Fauci, I believe. And then he's right behind the president. So based on if they're saying that this thing is airborne, then that actually means that everybody in that space could actually get it based on the fact that this dude was around somebody. And you know what he did? He said, fuck that mask, even though you can't even subconsciously do this. This is not something subconscious. He just flat out don't give a shit. When you see everybody in the room has a face mask on and you're just like, I don't have to have one on. And the question is why? I don't know that I've seen anybody talk about this, but it bothered me. Let me show you a slightly different photo of a very close encounter, if you don't believe what I'm saying. Let me show you a conversation that was had on stage that is in very close proximity, that is definitely less than 6 feet. Right here. What about this? My question is, does this count or does it not count? Oh shit, I don't remember how to. Let me see. To clear the whiteboard? I thought I clicked that. Maybe I didn't. Whatever. Right here. Face to face with that guy. Is that not close enough based on when they say social distancing, quote unquote? Is that social distancing? He is immune. I just think this whole thing is weird. I think they know how weird this is, but I think that there's more sinister shit going on. Because I'm going to tell you guys this. I think it's either serious or it's not. How can we be like, yeah, we're just going to shut things down for 2 months. People are going to continue to do exactly what they've been doing. Then we're going to open everything right back up. But we're just going to say, well, just don't sit too close to anybody. Okay. But if it's airborne, then that means it's going to be anywhere and everywhere anyway. And that also means that if it's airborne, like they say, then that means it could get in your home and it can travel. Especially, I want y'all to think about this, especially when they talk about the fact that this COVID stuff can survive on a surface for 15 days. I'm curious if anybody can tell me what virus can survive on any surface with oxygen for 15 fucking days. Scientifically, what virus can survive in the air? Want me to tell you guys something that maybe you might not know about, that I know a little bit about because I've done some research, read some books, watched some videos? As serious as AIDS and HIV is, the moment that AIDS and HIV, the virus itself, is exposed to air, it dies. If it dies, it dies. If it dies, it dies. They said 15 days. That's not even scientifically possible. But here's the thing. You said it can survive for 72 hours. But it also has to have some type of liquid mucus protection on it. But I want you to think about this. Even if I were to, let's just say I were to do something crazy like my table right here. If I were to take my tongue, if I have it, and I lick my tongue across that table, I want you to tell me, with the moisture in the saliva in my mouth, how long is that table going to stay moisturized from me licking it? Even if I lick it real heavy and just have all kind of saliva on the table, how long do you think that saliva would stay on the table in a moisturized form? Remember, I'm just asking questions. Let me give a shout out to Rhonda H, who joined the channel membership. And I want to say thank you very much. Welcome, and shout out to Rhonda H. Thank you so much for joining the AFC. Really appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. AIDS is only level 2 compared to Ebola, which is level 4. It also has to have a host to survive. Yes, it does. So, if it's on a surface, then what is the host? If it's on a surface, then what is the host? It literally has to be transferred from human to human immediately. Then you'd have to go from here to here to here to here. It has to go in a mucus source, a viable source to survive pretty quickly. If you guys would just take some time when you get some free time. We've heard enough about COVID. Go and just learn about viruses in general. I've actually had people say, lick it real heavy. Yes, that's right. You like that, don't you? No, I'm just playing. I'm playing. I'm joking. I'm being nasty. It's late. But if you think about this, do a little research just on viruses alone. Because if COVID is similar to the flu virus, which is a virus, then we would have to assume that if it behaves in a similar fashion, then you would have to classify it as a virus. So if COVID is a virus, then look up what viruses do and how they survive, how they are transferred, and how long they can live on surfaces and oxygen. You don't have to make it seem, because here's where we get into the minutia, which I think is absolutely asinine. I know I use a lot of big words there, and I might not even know how to spell them, but I do know what they mean. When we get into the minutia of talking about this thing is different, then we're trying to say that it doesn't have the characteristics of other things. It is separate. It's its own thing. There's nothing else like it. Well, in all actuality, viruses and things like that do have similarities with other things. That's how they're able to study them based on the characteristics of other things, and they're able to make comparisons and draw a conclusion and say, this is what this is how it behaves. If it is indeed a virus, then all viruses usually are going to have certain characteristics. How they survive on surfaces, how they survive in the body, how they're transmitted, how they are killed. Light can kill it. Y'all are saying bleach can kill it. Peroxide can kill it. Alcohol can kill it. But guess what viruses also die from? Oxygen. Let me tell you guys a little something that maybe you might not know, because I've done a bit of research. Let me tell you guys this, and then I'm going to wrap up here in a little bit. I don't know how I got to talking about all this. I'm sorry. This is not my specialty, okay? So don't expect me to get to talking about this stuff at any point in time ever again, okay? Sunlight kills viruses. Everything kills viruses. Your body kills viruses. We talk about all the people who have died, but why don't we talk about all the people who have survived and recovered and they're doing just fucking fine? I can guarantee you that all of those people haven't got vaccines. Your body will naturally fight off most stuff. Let me tell you guys a little something that maybe you might not be aware of. Because I use AIDS just because it's a polarizing thing, and most people are familiar with when you were going to school, you heard about these diseases and things like that. Most of y'all grew up, right, hearing this stuff. How it's transmitted. You have sex with one person, you could get it, it could kill you, you can die. That's what we heard. You stick your dick in a female raw, you could get it. You know, you have homosexual sex, you could get it, you could die. But the truth about it is this. Does it happen that way? Yes. But based on the things that I have read and I have studied, the majority of the people, when they get AIDS and HIV, do y'all know what they actually end up dying from? You ready for this? Look it up. Matter of fact, I want y'all to watch this documentary because I downloaded it because I thought they was going to maybe take it off the internet. Watch this documentary called House of Numbers. House of Numbers. Look it up. It teaches you a lot about things that are being suppressed that most people don't know. Somebody could have AIDS and HIV, and they could come tongue kiss you in the mouth. They could suck face with you for 5 whole freaking minutes, and you will not catch the AIDS or HIV virus. I think they said in order for it to be a possibility that you could get it that way, even if there's blood in their saliva in their mouth, even if they're bleeding in the mouth, the only way you could get it is if you ingest, I think they said maybe 20 gallons of their saliva, mouth to mouth contact. You said you watched it? Let me tell you guys something else that I don't just go. Always look, I'm gonna tell you guys this. Always be responsible, please. Always have responsible sex. Let me preface that before I say this. I learned that, which I thought was crazy, but based on how they described it, it made sense. That even if a person is confirmed to have HIV, if I have sex with a woman that has HIV, it doesn't even guarantee that I'm going to get HIV because that virus is very hard to transmit. Scientifically. Yep. I know y'all might think that's bullshit. And it might go against everything that you've ever heard. Here it is. Here it is. Most people that have AIDS and HIV die from the medication that they take to so-called cure them or medicate them from what it's doing to their bodies. Yep. Most people die from the medication. AIDS, HIV, look it up. Yep. Well, I don't want to get into cancer because I know that's a touchy subject for a lot of people. But all I'm saying by bringing up any of this is, what do we really know? What do we really know? And even if you just have a basic understanding of viruses and how things are transmitted, then you'll realize, like, wait a minute, like maybe some of the stuff we're hearing might not be entirely accurate. Case in point with this picture. Case in point, hashtag Plandemic. Thank you, Romanian girl. And whoever else said that. I know somebody said it earlier. If it was you, then shout out to you for saying that. All I'm saying is that from everything that you've been told and everything that you've been taught, I'm either like, we got to either be all in or we got to rethink what the hell we're putting out here to the people. For him to be in a room with a sick man, and this sick man could potentially cause our vice president to go back to the president, be in the same room, in the same space, on the same stage, means that if they are in close proximity, then he could actually spread it to the president as well as others. Like this. All of this looks like it's less than 6 feet. Now, do I believe that they probably have some type of, special permissions where if they did get it, they could get treated, they could get the vaccines, they could get this, get that, and be cool because they got enough money, power, and clout? Yeah, I do. I really do. But that still doesn't excuse the fact that if you're telling us it's serious for us, why is it not that serious for y'all? Why do the rules not apply to y'all? Just saying. Matter of fact, who is our Surgeon General? Let's get on to him for a moment. Who is that? Somebody else? Hey, man. Hey, look. You guys are showing out tonight, man. We actually had people donate. And I got to say thank you to a couple people here real quick. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm trying my best not to be. But I did just have some concerns. There were just some things I was concerned about. There were some things I was concerned about. Let me show you guys something. Yes, I just did. I'm about to read it here right now. Well, I pull up a picture of him. Let me see here. Yes, I did. Let me read it right now. Because we're not doing a story, so anytime you guys donate, I can go ahead and read those right away. If Busy Bee is out there, I'm going to say thank you to Busy Bee and PayPal. Night Rider in PayPal, shout out to you, sister. Thank you. And this one came in from Romanian Tough Girl. Hit me up with a PayPal. Hey, thank you very much, Romanian Tough Girl. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for doing that. Really, really appreciate that. Did I miss anybody in Cash App? And thank you to the people who continue to keep their Patreon membership. I really appreciate that too. Okay, so I think that's everybody. So boom, boom, boom. Right there. Okay, let's talk about this. Because I do watch the news sometimes, and it gets a little bit crazy. But there was an episode, I can't remember which news channel it was on. You guys might have to look up the clip. But what he did was the Surgeon General came out without his mask on. Money only gives certain people power that others should have. Pamela Trickett, thank you very much for your $5 super chat. Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate that. He came out and there was something that really sparked outrage with people, and they were pissed off at the Surgeon General because he didn't have his mask on while he's out telling everybody to have their mask on. And then he was like, you know what? I do have my mask. I'm not being a hypocrite. I do have it. I just don't have it on right now. Even though he's in a room full of people and on a stage with a bunch of people on it, but you're telling me that it's this serious. You don't know who has it, who don't, because asymptomatically means that you might not have symptoms and you could still spread it. So you mean to tell me that the person who is responsible for the health of the United States doesn't wear his mask whenever he is out in public? Do I think that they have a legitimate beef with him? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Why doesn't he do it? Does he not do it for a fashion statement? Do you want to be heard more clearly on the microphone? Or do you feel like everybody in that room is 100% safe? I don't know what his reason is, but to me, if we can't have a reason to not wear our mask because we don't want to, or because we feel safe, because we feel healthy, or whatever the case is, or because we want to run our business and just continue to be sanitized and just be clean, and we're going to go about it our own way. If you're going to try to tell us as Americans that we should behave a certain way, then if your ass is not American, or if you are American, then in my opinion, then you should behave like Americans do. Am I right or am I wrong? Y'all can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I saw a video of him talking to someone, and it was the words he was using that offended people. Well, maybe he should come out there with a written statement or something. But I just think you have to be very careful about what you say, because the country's listening, people are listening, and people are believing what you're saying. And right about now, there's a whole lot of people out there who aren't getting these freaking stimulus checks. There are businesses out there that are not getting these stimulus checks. They're literally just waiting for you to give them the green light so they can reopen and try to live their lives and make their businesses survive and thrive. A lot of people out there like me, we ain't getting a stimulus check. Not now, not ever. Then he accused not all not wearing our mask, but he doesn't wear his. That's my point. And it's either serious or it's not. It's either serious all the time or it's not serious all the time. That's all I'm saying. Just stuff that gets me frustrated. It's just, it racks my mind. I really haven't had much of an opportunity to really talk about this. I don't want to bore Kurt Dog with this stuff all the time. Shout out to my brother Kurt Dog, by the way. But, I don't want to bore people with this stuff, man. And I don't really want to bore y'all with it. But there's a lot of stuff I be wondering and thinking, and it drives me crazy. And I be sitting here watching this stuff going on. And then I try to pull up stuff about these children in the news, and I can't pull it up because they're just like, well, we're not 100% sure that this person is the guilty party. Well, you're still not even sure even after you convict somebody of a crime. That's why they also have it to where you can go back and appeal a ruling or introduce new evidence that would prove that this person is innocent. You're never really 100% sure. Well, unless they got it on videotape and they could prove that you did it. But outside of video evidence, for the most part, you're not always 100% sure when you convict somebody. So I think it's okay that if we know with beyond a reasonable doubt that somebody is involved in something, I think it's okay to put their faces out there. Then it should be their job to prove that they did not do this, that they have an alibi. I'm not the one guilty of murdering my kid. But to just sit there and just say, this kid is dead and we don't have any information about it that we can tell you guys about, then in my opinion, why put it out at all? Why waste people's time and put it out in the news to tell people something happened, but we can't tell you shit about it? Does that part make sense to people, or am I just do y'all think that I'm being, am I looking at this too deeply? Am I getting too wrapped up in this stuff? Because y'all could be honest with me. I think that they should either give us information when it's available to put out, or just don't put out anything. Thank you, Love My Kind. I appreciate that. And get mad when people question the insanity. Yep. They have no information, but are throwing them in the pandemic numbers. That is true. That is true. The whole thing with saying this person died of COVID, this person died of COVID. The reason why I made the COVID joke on the last stream was just because you're saying, because they have a provision where they can actually say that people have COVID based on their symptoms, but we can't prove that they have it. But we're going to say that they have it just because they have symptoms. To me, that's wrong. They either have it or they don't. Prove that they don't fucking have it. Or don't say that they have it and these people are dying. If you don't know what they're dying from, then don't just go give me some fuck shit. I get upset by that. Don't just go telling me, well, you know, my dog died. He must have died of COVID. No, like, tell me really why my dog died. Like, what the hell? You didn't do a test on him. You're just going to say, well, yeah, you know, he was, you know, having trouble breathing. Yeah, he must have died of COVID. Either you know or you don't know. And if you don't know, then I don't think you should be putting any information out there. That's why I feel confident when I do these stories. I'm putting out information and I'm putting out a comprehensive, very full story. Y'all can agree to that, right? When you watch my stream, you generally know that I'm going to be able to give you the name of the suspect or suspects. I'm going to be able to give you the name and face of the deceased child or the child that was involved. If the child is alive, then I don't, because for legal reasons, I don't. And I'm going to be able to give you details about the crime that happened and potentially what they could be looking at as far as time and my personal opinion about the facts that are out there. I usually give you guys a comprehensive story. If I cannot give you a comprehensive story, then I do a lot of nights like what I did tonight. I don't present a story. I didn't have enough information to go off of. There wasn't enough to really tell a story or for me to make a judgment on what I thought, so I didn't put it out. So I try to live by what I talk about. It's an ongoing process because we're human and we're going to make mistakes and we're not going to always do things according to the way that we speak. But you can at least strive and make an effort to do so. You talk it, you walk it. Live by what you talk about. And if you're going to be the damn Surgeon General, I'm going to expect for your black ass to be the first person out there with mask on. There's been plenty of people out there giving interviews with mask on to the news stations. Am I right? Plenty of people out there talking to each other with mask on, making orders with mask on, going to the grocery store, talking to each other with mask on. We can hear you. We can hear you. Put your fucking mask on, dude. As the Surgeon General, you should be the number one, the first person to have your mask on. I'm sorry, but that bugs me to my core. I cannot believe we had almost, about 125 people here to listen to me rant about some things that were bothering me. This is generally not what I do, and I do not think I'm very good at doing this, but I did want to get some things off my heart. The thing that really bugged me the most was when I want to present a story, I literally can't. And I waste up maybe a whole day after work trying to put together a story, and it falls apart, and it bothers me emotionally sometimes because I really want to be able to tell these kids' story. I know people want me to put stories out that they emailed to me, and just sometimes I can't because there's not enough information. And so to me, it wastes the media's time. It wastes people like you. It wastes your time when they put something out there. They want you to get riled up and rowdy about something, and we generally don't know shit about it. And to me, that's just as dangerous as being careless and reckless. So anyway, that's all I got to say, man. And I want to thank all of you guys for all of the channel members that are here. For everybody else who is listening, if you guys want to join the AFC, whenever we do stuff like this, and maybe we'll do each of the broadcasts with just channel members, but that's going to always be at my discretion. But I know the people in the chat, they like for everybody to be able to talk, whether they have a wrench or whether they don't, whether they have a membership or whether they don't. But, you know, we'll kind of figure that out as we go forward. But the easiest thing to do is to join that channel membership and just make it easy. So that way you're always in the building. You could always be here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'll be here to talk about some more stuff, and maybe we'll kind of open up our scope and start talking about more things that really concern us as Americans, as people in our communities, our neighborhoods, as parents. We'll just talk about more stuff and keep this thing rocking. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat. We're the AFC, where we advocate for children first. I love you guys, and y'all have yourselves a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And you guys enjoy getting back to your normal lives. For most of us, like out here in Texas, I think that most of our businesses are going to open up tomorrow. Oklahoma already opened up on April 1st. For everybody else, man, I hope y'all can just get back to regular life, man. Love yourselves, love your kids, love your family, appreciate life, appreciate your God-given rights, and don't let anybody ever take your rights and trample on your liberties. All right, it's your boy DJ Just J. I love you guys. You guys have a happy Hanukkah and all of that stuff, and I love y'all, and y'all have a good night, okay? Peace. If y'all need anything, just email me.